Huh. I expected worse. Now is definitely a time to be a Star Wars fan. For 5 weeks this year, there were 2 ongoing Star Wars shows, meaning I got to be disappointed twice a day for 5 consecutive Wednesdays. Now let's be fair. Bad Batch isn't a bad show. That doesn't mean it's good, though. Now Clone Wars isn't perfect, but it has the unique quality of being an anthology show. So even when an episode or arc was bad, you are under no illusion that you have to watch it to understand the story. You don't have to watch the goofy Jar Jar adventures to comprehend the war crimes. With The Deficient Dozen, however, and this goes double for you rebels, there is so much gruel. Just stories that don't need to be told, aren't terribly entertaining, and add just enough to the overarching plot that you need to watch them all. In fact, my problems with this series can be epitomized in one character. It's the fucking kid. The hairy dad trend is back and with a vengeance. Remember the little guy from The Mandalorian? A little shine of hope in a show with a pretty shady setting a lot of the time? Fuck that. This guy brings in the marketing bucks. Let's give everyone a kid. Awful Array? Kid. Obi-Wan? Kid. Doctor Strange? Why not? Make the last 3 episodes of Boba Fett about Mando getting his kid back. You took his show and cut him completely out of 2 episodes. What I'm saying is that Star Wars is starting to rhyme a bit too frequently. The clones are good characters on their own. One of the best Clone Wars arcs is just clones having to deal with sadistic leadership. You could make a good show about this crew as it was, but they added Omega so that the squad would learn about love and become more than soldiers. That's fine and good, but she's an annoying little shit who's either overcompetent because she needs to justify her spot in the show, or more often, supremely incompetent because she's a kid and she needs to be taken care of. She also serves as insurance that as long as it's not the first episode or a season finale, there will be no meaningful consequences in an episode with her. She's not a fun character to watch, she doesn't bounce off the other characters that well, and I'm tired of seeing cool lead characters reduced to babysitters. Omega essentially freezes Hunter and Wrecker's character development after a few episodes so that they're just her gay dads. Crosshair leaves in the first episode, which is cool. Crosshair is the best villain the series has. Any episode with him is improved by 2 points, easy. But he's only in about 10 episodes. Tech is fine. He gets more love in season 2, but even then he's still just over-analytical tech man. C-3PO with skin. Speaking of C-3PO with skin, Echo. Echo is so underutilized in this show that when they wrote him out halfway through season 2, I barely noticed he was gone. The unfinished Bad Batch debut ended without him joining the squad, so they went out of their way to have him join, have the exact same role as Tech except he has an R2 dick, just so that he can leave in season 2. I have never seen so much effort go into wasting a character. Well, he's gone, but at least we still got Tech.
Hey, yo, the pizza here. Oh, nigga!
What? Why? Why? You took half of the Bad Batch out of the Bad Batch. Now it's just the gay dads on their own, and they have the worst dynamic of the show. Wrecker is just there to say, destruction. And the team's like, silly goose, this is a stealth mission. That's his character. His arc throughout the show is that he goes from being scared of heights to being slightly less scared of heights. Something you notice for the first half of this season is that it's lacking a season arc, a real main villain. Season 1 had Crosshair, but he's de-emphasized so that we're left with Admiral Man, who isn't even a main villain really. He's our Imperial perspective for the first half of the season until he gets arrested. He doesn't interact or act as an obstacle to the protagonist except in the episode where he gets taken out of the show. Then he gets replaced by a scientist. Wow. There's no urgency in any of the group's actions this season. Steal some treasure, win a race, Clone Wars cameo, big Clone Wars cameo. It's not until the very end that the Empire even knows that the team is alive. I think it gets pretty good right at the end. All the boys being hunted, the scientist gets Omega, then it fucking ends. Goddamn, this series has 8 good episodes per season, but it has to run for 16. I'm looking forward to season 3. I enjoy the show, I just wish it were shorter. We don't need Star Wars Tomb Raider. The racing episode is fun, but it feels tone deaf after an episode where Crosshair pulls off a political assassination. Not mad, just disappointed. 6 out of 10, still better than Rebels. Time for the real shit.
Look at this dude.
bros weren't ready to live in Georgia. Mando Ex Machina, then the show actually starts. Joel here is excommunicated because he took his helmet off in front of the marketing machine. Now he must take a bath on a now glassed Mandalore. The armorer says the planet is cursed. Bo-Katan says the planet is poisoned. The Empire isn't known for chemical warfare. I don't know why these TIE bombers would have quote-unquote poisoned the surface. I mean, in Clone Wars it was a desert. I don't know what these Star Boys breathe in, but it's not oxygen apparently. On the trip from the hideout to Navarro, the kid sees space whales. These were introduced in Rebels, and if you're interested to know more, then change show. He shows up on Navarro where Grief Karga has turned it into a paradise. Kinda weird since last season it was kinda just like a nice town, and now it's an independent and valuable trade city. Mando is here to rebuild IG-11 because he needs a droid to test the supposed poisoned air. This goes somewhere, but I wish it didn't. IG-11 is beyond repair and Mando leaves. Oh, and he shoots some pirates because they needed more action. He runs into the Pirate King briefly. My Halo Chia pet looks weird as fuck. Goofy ass bear trap looking mouth going around calling himself a king. Fucker doesn't need a crown, he needs some ranch. Mando goes to Bo-Katan, fails the Riz check, and the episode ends. 6 out of 10 doesn't live up to the sheer hype of the previous season premieres and doesn't have interesting enough plot to back it up. Oh, we're dropping the 2-word titles now? Fuck you, shaved baloney. First scene is Mando visiting a mechanic where he's like, my droid broke, and she says, can't fix it, take fan service bot. He just gives in. This man watched droids kill his parents. He spent all last episode saying he needs this specific droid he can trust, and he just takes bad motivator Johnson with minimal convincing. Also, this jumping effect? Awful. He flies back to Mandalore and discovers that the air is pure and also underground is infested with a bunch of rubber suit cavemen. I don't know, man, these guys just look super goofy. Take into account that the only enemies he uses the Darksabers on this entire season is a cave dweller with sticks and rocks. Yeah, these guys are lame as hell. He continues until he finds a Mandalorian helmet. My brother in Christ, you're in the Mandalorian ruins. There will be Mandalorian armor. He gets baited though, and now he's abducted by my favorite creature design in the whole show. Mando tells the kid to get Bo-Katan, and we get this goofy ass scene where he cradles himself to the surface. Also, jumps in, closes cockpit, next shot the cradle is gone. He has it when he gets on Bo-Katan's ship, so obviously he didn't leave it. Bo-Katan gets out overthrown like, oh, I'm gonna murder this man.
Let's get rid of him once and for all.
Then willingly helps him for the rest of the season. Questionable character change, but okay. She follows the kid back and fucks up my man. God damn. Oh, he's back for round 2. Fuck. She didn't land a kill shot on the little spider dudes. She just locked him in the metal tomb. Fucked up. Mando wakes up and sees Bo-Katan making pog soup. No. She leads him to the mines of Mandalore and starts expositing lore. Mando is tired of hearing it, so he tries drowning himself. I don't think he was pulled down. He just sunk 200 feet in a second. Then, oh shit, a mythosaur! This is a certified pog soup moment. Don't get excited though, the mythosaur has no plot relevance. The episode ends right after that. 4 out of 10, the action is lame, the story is taped together. Episode 3 starts with Mando collecting some bath water to give to the armorer, and then have a cool dogfight over Bo-Katan's castle. I don't have much to say about the Coruscant plot. Interesting world building, lays the seeds for some of the better plot points of this season, and then Science Man gets sent to gay conversion therapy. After that, we see Mando reconvene with the Covert, and now him and Bo-Katan are accepted into the group of religious zealots. Yeah, this show sends mixed messages about whether we're supposed to think the cult is just or not. 8 out of 10, I like when Grogu isn't there. God damn it. Episode 4 starts with a solid 4 minutes of Yoda shit, and then later we get his full Order 66 flashback. Not to mention, this fucking effect looks like I'm throwing around a sack of potatoes. Someone kill this kid, he keeps attracting predators.
We should muster up a hunting party and go after him.
Goofy ass cutaway.
We must avoid explosives and blasters for the safety of the foundling.
2 goofy ass cutaways in a row. Who edited this shit? There's a strange lack of music in this episode. Makes sense, I mean, Star Wars isn't known for good music or anything. I hate how he walks too. The kid starts having Forge flashbacks to when he was saved in Order 66. This Jedi that saves him is played by the original actor for Jar Jar. I'm glad that he's in a good state of health after having to endure Star Wars fans. There's a speeder chase that's kind of but we get to see more live-action clones, so it's a great scene. The Jedi survives, so that means we'll most likely get another flashback in the future showing how he dies and the kid gets taken by pirates. The hunting party arrives at the nest after resting and they give chase to Big Bird.
Take my hand!
It's a fun scene where the Mandos have to fight the bird without putting the kid at risk. Good stuff. Bo-Katan lost a shoulder piece and gets a new one with the mythosaur skull on it. She tries telling the armor she saw one, but gets a sure buddy in response. 6 out of 10. Too much of the kid, but makes up for it with fun scenes and fleshing out the culture of the Mandalorians. Caesar is back, and he's not forking around. He's cabbaging the streets, caling not just the romaine, but the rowomaine and the rochildren too. He's relishing his... Wait, that's not on salads. God damn it. Pirate King Floridian Shard is back to justify his weird and short-lived appearance in the first episode. Grief Karga calls the New Republic for help, and look everybody, it's Zeb from Rebels. Rebels fans, will give you a moment to change your diapers.
They haven't returned a dispatch in weeks. They're swamped. We'll never get an answer in time.
Then I'm just gonna have to go there and talk to them myself. They can't ignore me face to face.
The New Republic ignores him face to face.
How did you manage to find us?
Fortunately, someone I served with in the rebellion is amongst your ranks.
R5 is a snitch-ass motherfucker. Where'd all that motivation come from, you fucking clank? The rebel pilot passes the distress call onto the Mandalorians, who bring it up at their AA meeting. They all agree to help because if they do, then they get a free plot of land.
Be careful, my friend. They've got you outnumbered 10 to 1.
I like those odds.
Is that a reference to the hit 2019 show The Mandalorian? Not much to say here. It's good action, nice flow, decent back and forth on who's winning, and it's never hard to understand where someone is or why they're doing something. Pirate King My PP Hard goes down in flames and Grief Karga gives the land to the Mandalorians. After that, the armorer talks to Bo-Katan and is like,
Take that ridiculous thing off.
It's not the way.
Do it.
These guys are way too radicalized to be accepting this on a whim. The episode ends with the rebel pilot investigating the shuttle that Moff Gideon escaped from. He finds Beskar, which I thought meant the Mandalorians that Bo-Katan led had decided to take justice into their own hands and that would cause friction with the New Republic. That's not the case. That requires too much nuance for Disney. I like this episode though. Good fight, memorable scenes, and it moves the overarching plot forward a fair bit. 8 out of 10.
Who cares about fate? I love you. And I will always love you.
Get yourself a fish girl. She'll always be wet. You. Awful. Let's try again. Did you know that in terms of male human to female Pokemon breeding, a Vaporeon is the most compatible? Cut to Mando and Bo-Katan landing on the planet where Bo-Katan's old crew are holed up. This is about to be a cut and dry 10-minute episode, but then Jack Black intervenes. Jack Black is accompanied by Lizzo playing his wife. I don't mind their being here, distracting as it may be. At least they're not calling Lizzo by name. Plausier 15 takes the idea that machines should do the manual labor and organics should focus on the arts and bases its whole society on it. Problems start to arise when a certain droids start to act against their programming. Jack Black hires Mando to fix the problem in exchange for his planet petitioning Mandalore's sovereignty. Mando doesn't really care though, he just wants to establish dominance over the dirty, rusted, infected pieces of shit. They start investigating by meeting with tech support Doc Brown, from where they get referred to the Ugnaughts. Mando's like, no guys, I swear, my best friend is an Ugnaught, and they get the location of their first target. It's a super battle droid working as a loader, but they don't know which one. So Mando unleashes his inner cop and starts harassing until one of them fights back. The cyberpunk chase scene where he's after a robot hiding in plain sight is reminding me of Blade Runner. Mando tackles the hunk of scrap and takes him in for an autopsy. Turns out Wires had been drinking, so they go to the bar. After intimidating the bartender, they find out that all the fucked up droids drank from one batch. A bad batch, if you will. They go to see the autopsy and conclude that nanobots were causing the issue and the bots were ordered by the security office. Doc Brown was the culprit. They tase him and bring him back to the cameo couple.
I had a feeling you hated me.
I'm disappointed in you, Commissioner. You served my family well. But Captain Bombardier is the love of my life.
goofy ass trial, goofy ass key, goofy ass knighting. Now for the actual plot. This is so much lamer than the last duel for the throne. The Mandalorians still don't respect Bo-Katan because she doesn't have the Darksaber, so Mando justifies that she rightfully does have the Darksaber because of the robot she killed in episode 2. Look at my man, jumping through hoops so that he can avoid responsibility without having to lose to a woman. Respect. That was the most meandering episode of TV I can think of, but it didn't have much Yoda shit, so 5 out of 10. This episode is called The Spies, just so that the fan base would start pointing fingers at different characters. I respect the manipulation. Look, it's Moff Gideon! It's Moff Gideon, everyone! Look, I like Moff Gideon, but having watched Breaking Bad and The Boys in the last year, I'd say Gideon is Giancarlo Esposito's weakest character. Hell, I prefer him in the CP anime.
Atom Smasher, hurry! Go on, kill the boy! Who the fuck are you?
I wouldn't have cared if they killed him in the last finale, but then they would have had to make a new villain. This is a Saturday morning cartoon for adults, and we can't kill Skeletor. Gideon says villain dialogue and goes to talk with his hollow buddies, including General Hux's father. I'm gonna stop there because I wrote a section about his age when I thought he was just Hux from the sequels. They name drop Thrawn. I'm not teasing Rebels fans again because I want to see Thrawn in a show not made for babies. Next scene shows Mando introducing his covert to the Clone Wars Mandalorians, and I love the "you just brought your non-white girlfriend to the family dinner" vibe.
Mando!
This is like going to Shanghai and looking for your friend China Man. Reef Cargo comes to tell Mando that IG-11 is repaired in a way that Grogu can drive it like a 2001 Honda Civic.
Maybe when he's older.
No.
Fuck. God damn it, why the hell's he gotta speak? I would almost accept this if they gave the kid a gun. The Mandalorians designate a search party and leave for Mandalore. This episode and the next are similar in structure to the last 2 episodes of Season 1, where Episode 7 is mostly a trek to the place where they get ambushed, and Episode 8 is how they react to contact. Once they make it to the Great Forge, they're attacked by stormtroopers decked out with Mandalorian equipment, Beskar and all. When they first popped up, I thought these were just the fuckers from Rebels, but no, these guys are actually cool. John Wick did do the armored grunt thing way better, though. Damn, dude, chill. The Mandalorians think they won, but they get lured into a trap. They separate Mando and 3 others from the group, kill the 3, and capture Mando, for some reason. Bo-Katan cuts a way out for them, and Paz Vizsla stays behind to fight. There's a lot of throwing people off ledges for a fight where everyone has jetpacks. He manages to kill all the stormtroopers, but then they appear. The disciples of the diminishing dagger. He lives up to his name and dies to the Red Man. This is a neat episode, some exploration of Mandalorian culture and opening up some pathways to make the sequels more bearable in the future. Good action, nice raising of the stakes, but it made me suffer through the kid inhabiting the skin of his protector, so 6 out of 10. Motherfucker, these jetpacks couldn't follow a bird to its nest a few episodes ago, and now you're telling me it can break atmosphere? This episode has a lot of fun fights, including multiple where Mando doesn't get a gun. Neat stuff. Oh yeah, and the kid saves him at one point while piloting the Clanka corpse.
If we don't take out Moff Gideon, this will never end.
Mando is teaching his son to kill. I get that he may have bugged Mando's position, but why does the kid have an indicator on this map too?
Sorry, I don't speak binary.
This is like telling an English speaker that you don't speak Anglo-Saxon. Mando sends R5 to get him the map. I thought they would have scrapped him after they ratted out the covert's location, but why is he on Mandalore? The Mandonaut reaches the capital ship and tells him to abandon and help the fight. Mando is almost at Gideon's office, but reaches his Darth Maul room. Yeah, look the opposite way of the shield that just opened, dumbass. Why are you grabbing that guy's gun? The other guy had a gun too. Good fight. Dear God, the Empire's trying to move Crystal in the South Valley. Crisis averted. The reinforcements arrive and this scene is cool. I can't tell what's going on or if either side is winning, but it's definitely cool.
My clones were finally going to be perfect. The best parts of me, but improved by adding the one thing I never had. The Force.
Goofy ass Disney, stop trying to make cloning Jedis a thing. This fight is something.
No, no, no.
Why did they even go after the kid? He didn't do anything. They could have killed Mando if they stayed like 5 seconds longer instead of being teased by a toddler. Mando gets beat up and Bo-Katan has to save him, and then he saves the kid. I love the sound these blasters make. Okay, Mando and the kid teaming up is also cool. Well, that's disappointing. Bo-Katan stresses the importance of family to Moff Gideon, then he gets fucked up and killed by an exploding cruiser. Oh yeah, the Mandalorian cruiser pulled an analog holdo maneuver on the base. Mando, Mandet, and Mandlet survive using the Force to make a bubble. We are Groot, am I right? The Mandalorians won! Cut to the living waters where Mando officially adopts his kid.
Din Grogu, Mandalorian apprentice.
No one's calling him that. Oh fuck, the Mythosaur. Yeah, you really paid off, didn't you? They light the Great Forge and Mando tells the New Republic that he wants to hunt the Empire. He grabs the IG-11 part he needs and goes to Navarro. He repairs IG-11 for use as Navarro's marshal, and then he goes to his new house. Who the fuck approved this as the final transition? So yeah, worst season of The Mandalorian? Give it a 6 all around, but it's fun. Gideon didn't have enough staying power to be Season 3's villain. The amount of goofy shit in these episodes is too high, especially with the ever-growing emphasis on the kid. And the season goal to reclaim Mandalore doesn't really work when Mandalore is thought to be abandoned. Clone Wars had a Reclaim Mandalore arc, and it was peak media. It's good, just doesn't stand out as much as I'd like. But yeah, sorry I didn't cover these two. I didn't see Shazam until a couple weeks ago. Shazam's a 5 out of 10, fun movie that doesn't leave an impression. Ant-Man I wrote a script for, but by the time I would have worked on it, I didn't have any interest in this dishwater. Good creature designs but lackluster effects, wastes a lot of cool characters including MODOK. But Kang is cool, and I'm glad that nothing will get in the way of him being a great big bad. The main cast though, fuck 'em. I like Paul Rudd, but Hank and Cassie are annoying, and Janet and Hope are bland. Ant-Man should have died. 3 out of 10.